Hello and welcome to Country Roads Confidential. I am your host, Chris Anderson, publisher of earsports.com, the West Virginia site on the 24/7 Sports and CBS Sports Network. We got a special mini podcast today, semi-instant reaction, semi-instant feedback podcast, discussing the Keyshawn Robinson commitment for WVU football. And instead of getting my insight, which is already up on the message board, we invited Keyshawn on to talk with us today. Keyshawn, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Thanks for coming on, man. First off, congratulations on the commitment
Thank you.
to the Mountaineers. First off, how does it feel? How do you feel right now? I mean, we're a few hours removed from you making your commitment, but how's it been all day?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Feel really hype, pumped.
Good. Before we talk more about the commitment, I want to take you back to, I guess, sort of the beginning, or at least the beginning of when I started following you for WVU recruiting. And that was last summer at the summer camps. I think the very first one I saw you at was a huge one, if I remember correctly. It had like 400 some kids there. And do you remember that camp? Do you remember what was going on and what was going through your mind?
I think like I was trying to stay engaged and locked in, trying to focus on getting good 40 times and perfecting my routes.
Yeah. And, obviously you're there, you're going through testing and then doing some one-on-ones and meeting with the coaching staffs and stuff. Did it have this feeling of basically a tryout, almost like a tryout for a scholarship for you?
Yeah, it did.
And any pressure on that?
Nah, not necessarily. I try to stay calm.
And do you remember now? I mean, I know it's been almost a year, but do you remember how you performed that day?
I'm pretty sure I ran like a 4 or 5,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure about my shuttle, but I know I did pretty good running routes. We did ball skills with the receiver group.
And then I think it was maybe only like 3 or 4 days later, you were back up for 7-on-7. And you helped lead your team all the way to the championship game, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Yes.
Nice. And what kind of feedback were you getting from the coaches during that time? Like during that week of you coming up for the prospect camp and for the 7-on-7? What were they telling you?
They were telling me like they're keeping an eye out on me and stuff. Like they're basically just gonna watch me, see what I do, see how I do. Cause down in the camp, like I barely got to get any one-on-ones to show my skills. So they was down at the 7-on-7 watching me see what I could do, see my routes. Yeah.
And as far as your recruitment, that was again, that was almost a year ago. And during that time, kind of a lot, somewhat a lot has happened at West Virginia, but more importantly for your position, you had a position coach change. Um, Tony Washington left for Liberty, and in came Bilal Marshall. And what was your first interaction with Coach Marshall in West Virginia?
To be honest, like after I got to talk to him a little bit, like I felt pretty confident in being a receiver for him. I felt like he could help me be a better receiver and work on my ball skills to get me to the next level.
And along with Coach Marshall, I also saw Blaine Stewart, tight ends coach, really excited about this commitment. Was he your lead recruiter?
Um, First it was Drew Kesa,
Mm-hmm.
but he was like the next level down. Like he was like basically the assistant, like helping him recruit me.
Gotcha. And what was it like talking to Coach Stewart?
It was definitely a good experience. Get to know him.
And then so this week, I think it happened Saturday night. Is that correct? Is that when you let the coaching staff know that you were committing?
Yes.
How did that go down?
Um, See, I texted Coach Stewart and I was like you know what, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this verbal commit. He was like pumped, excited, telling me like like I'm gonna get you on the phone with Coach Brown. And I was like, all right, bet. And I texted Coach Bilal, and he was pumped. He got me on the phone with Coach Neil Brown. Yeah.
And what was that conversation like with Neil Brown?
It's pretty good. It wasn't too long. I'm pretty sure he was just basically congratulating me and telling me like he's ready for me to be a part of the team.
Now, have you been up to camp? I know you're doing track and stuff, so you got a lot going on, but have you been up to campus like in the last month or so?
Yes, I just came up to campus on April 11th.
Okay. Were you checking out a spring practice?
Yeah,
What'd you think of what you saw up there?
I definitely liked it.
You know? And then like I mentioned, tracks going on. I saw some of your times and some clips of you running going up. What's been your fastest time in the 100 meters so far?
Right now it's a 10.78.
Nice. What are you shooting for?
Definitely trying to get for like a 10.5. That's my goal right now. But if I can get lower, I definitely try to get lower.
Good. And what other events are you doing?
The 200, 4x1, and 4x2.
Okay. And do you have any plans to come back up to West Virginia for camps this summer or visits?
I do plan on coming back up for official visit June 2nd to the 4th.
Nice. And do you know if your team's coming back for the 7-on-7 yet?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are coming down in June, but I don't know exactly what dates, but I know we are coming down.
Gotcha. Well, um, one final question to wrap things up. But what other schools? I mean, I know you were talking to several, had a couple other offers, but what other schools were you kind of seriously considering other than West Virginia? Or, I mean, as a West Virginia guy, was it always kind of West Virginia in the back of your mind?
I definitely had West Virginia at like the top, but like there was like I had Duke on the other mind too. Like if something bad would have happened with WVU, but like nah, like I definitely think I was committed into being a West Virginia Mountaineer.
Well, that sounds great, Keyshawn. I appreciate you coming on and talk with me. And I'm looking forward to seeing you up at camp again, getting some more pictures, more videos, and congratulations again on the commitment.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.